It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
All right, David asked this next question, Brian. David said, hey guys, I'm getting married next year. Congratulations. I work in network security and make $112,000. I do 15% with my 401k with a 6% match, and I max out my Roth IRA. Once married, should we open another Roth IRA for her? So we don't know a whole lot about their situation. We know how much he makes. We don't know if she works or what the circumstance is. But when it comes to building assets for newlyweds, are there any thoughts you have around like whose accounts you fund and how that could manifest at some point later on in a marriage?
Yeah, now, look, I think that it's important. Like I said, I'm in my third decade of marriage. It's one of those unique things where maybe my thoughts are a little more traditional, so I'll let you be the younger person if you have a different thought on anything. But I do love the fact that once you're married, that you're thinking of the money coming into the household as both of your money, because that served me well. I think there's nothing wrong with, especially if you're in a later marriage and you have assets, from just previously in life. It's okay that you treat some of those things because they're legally protected in a certain way separate. But once you're married, all the assets that you're kind of creating while you're married, you ought to really be, thinking about them as a joint effort.
Sure. And
so when I hear a situation where you like, I'm assuming you obviously are the breadwinner since you said you're 112, but didn't mention your spouse's income. You're the primary breadwinner. There's still an opportunity, and when you think about like the financial order of operations, step 5 is tax-free growth. The government restricts all tax-free growth opportunities. Roth IRAs only let you put $6,000 a person in. The HSAs is a little over $7,000 if you're a family. So if you've maxed out your Roth IRA at $6,000, but your wife or spouse has not, you have the ability to use your earned income to also fund your spouse's. You ought to think about doing that as a household. And I think that's the important thing is that if you look at those assets that are coming into the marriage as assets as the household, you can then try to make those maximization decisions for where the next dollar should go for your family.
Yeah, and look, I'm sort of a financial mutant, so I got really excited about this. My wife is she's 2 years younger than me, and so I understand how $1 can turn into 88 for a 20-year-old. By the time they get to 65. If you want to know about that, go check out our deliverable, How Powerful Are Your Dollars, moneyguy.com/resources. I recognize that every dollar we put into my wife's Roth IRA can probably grow bigger than mine because she has a little bit more time on her side. So when we first got married, I don't think at the time I was maxing out an employer-sponsored retirement plan. And so I did not try to work through the financial order of operations for myself and then double back and start working on hers. We made the decision, no, let's both fund Roths. Let's both do. At the time, it might have been $100 a month or $200 a month, whatever the number was. And we wanted to start building those assets. And we kept doing that even after we'd made the decision to have kids and she opted to work at home with the children. She decided to stay in the home, but she's still working. And honey, if you're listening to this, I know that you're still working because it's the hardest job in the world. She made that decision. We still, even after we made that decision, still made the decision to build up accounts because we wanted to take advantage, exactly like you said, of the Roth IRA. So make sure you're taking advantage of all those opportunities. If you have a spouse and maybe they have some sort of like side income or they're doing something like that, don't forget, you can do retirement accounts for them too. You can open up solo 401ks or SEP IRAs. There are really exciting ways when you have two members of a household to really take advantage of the tax opportunities available to you. Marriage is a great mechanism to allow you to really legally sock away tax-incented dollars.
That's right.
Great question, David.